Can you just check the link there, Stephen?
You sent the link?
No. You can you... Let me look for it. Do you find it?
I found it on the laptop.
Okay, I found
It's
it.
good.
On the laptop.
I'm sending it to Stephen. Okay, sent on the group.
I'm going to do another test start along.
Cool.
You two, Steve and Josh, your party chat settings is on share, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
My PlayStation's a few seconds ahead of YouTube as usual.
Yeah, it will be.
It's always like that.
Final starting in 1-0.
7 seconds behind.
Yeah. Okay, let me send out the link to the WhatsApp groups.
Cool. I can only see 8 guys. Am I seeing right?
Could it be everyone away? Hallelujah.
But I can only see 8. Oh no, my bad. Oh, KLM is in the bush.
I don't think that was auto drive. I think he crashed.
So this is a test start and everyone got away fine.
Yeah, looks like it. Cool stuff.
Could we have a night with South African internet playing ball?
Not a Thursday, so we're in for some luck, I think.
See, strategically, it was a good idea.
Good evening, Dion. Just testing, you're the first guy here. Can you hear us?
So Dion is 1 of 1. Dion, give us a thumbs up if you can hear myself.
And me? Can you hear 3 people?
Yeah. All 3 of us loud and clear. I'm taking that messages. Thank you very much, Dion.
Cool stuff, Dion. Cool stuff. So we should give you a prize actually for being the first guy on the stream.
5 bonus points for that man.
Congratulations, Dion. You're allowed to enter season 2 or 3. All right, welcome. Viewers are climbing up. We're up to 13 already.
Nice,
Good evening,
nice.
everyone.
It's amazing that 13 people have nothing better in their lives to do than listen to us.
Exactly.
I bet you 8 of them have us on mute.
Hello, Stiggy.
Evening, everybody.
Thanks, Sean. So Josh and Stephen gets a personalized greeting, but Vanna gets nothing. Appreciate it. Thanks, Sean.
Oh, hey, Mr. Psycho Sheep. So, according to my
Thanks,
wonderful
thanks.
internet, it's telling me that
It's telling you that?
and telling me that I'm on the wrong stream. I clicked the link to Pacer's stream and I'm wondering why there's only 3 people.
Hey, hello, Willie. See, Willie like me. I get a personalized greeting from Willie.
Willie.
Hello, Sean.
Okay, so for the 16 of you who've joined in, if you don't know already, we're going to have 3 heats tonight. The first heats is obviously go-karts, nice close racing, no tire wear, no fuel, just straight out, flat out racing. Same thing with heat number 2, that will be the new Mazda GR3 car at Autopolis, and then we're having a longer race with the Grade 1 Group C cars, which are all your old classic Le Mans cars from Circuit de la Croix. Not quite sure how you say it, I'm not French, but that one that no one ever plays, that's the track.
Yeah, and I believe it's touch and go between. I think it's slightly longer than De La Sarthe, so the Lamar track. So I think it's probably the second longest track in the game. So that's going to be quite a good race, I think.
Yeah.
Just a quick run through the 12 guys that made it to this point. We ran 2 separate leagues. We ran a manufacturer series and we ran a Nations Cup series. And then basically what happened was the top 6 of each of those series then qualified for the showdown to crown our season 2 ultimate champion for this current season. So from the manufacturer side of things, we had Shoaib, GTRSA, then we had GTP GTI, KLM Pace, Kalen, he's the defending champion, so he's got probably the most to lose. Conrad, Carties 84. Then we've got our youngster, our 16-year-old, Koketso Polani. Not Stinky 33, look out for him, he is lightning quick. And then making up the top 6 for the manufacturer side, we have Dino Cantino, who also runs quite his own stream, and he's got a YouTube channel, and he actually organized quite recently a South Africa versus US series, which I think it's fair to say South Africa came out well on top, even though it was more a friendly than a proper competition, but South Africa definitely came out on top of that. And then from the nation side, we have Sunburn Donkey. He ended up winning 3 of the 5 races. He came second in the other one and third in another one. So also very, very quick. Mekal, he's an old standing Pool 1 racer. Leap 33, also one of the older guys, or when I say old, I don't mean age-wise. I do mean...
That's been around for a while.
That's been around for a while and been part of the crowd. Samir, Serious Sam, ZA, also very quick. MJ Ninja, fantastic bloke, also been around for a while. And then Henny beside note, Henny Bears, he makes up the top 6 of the nations from the nation side. Also been around a while, but really came to the fore this season. Sort of a breakout season for him.
So I see a question
until
on
Leap
the stream
went
there,
and...
guys.
Sorry, Josh.
A question from Sebi. How many of the 12 runners are on G20? To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I know Dino and not Stinky.
Dino
have
just
received new
his,
wheels
not-
and G29s.
Not Stinky, I don't know if he's running his yet. I know the final round last Thursday he's stuck with the controller.
Yeah.
I think he might be finishing the season on the controller and then switching over.
Most likely.
Do we have any controller drivers other than Not Stinky and formerly Dino?
Mikhail's still
Mikhail,
on controller. If I'm not mistaken, Mikhail is still on controller.
I know that Conrad has got a Fanatic rig.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's had that for about 18 months, I think now, probably 18 months to 2 years.
Yeah, he's G29's the one that's gone to Not Stinky.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And he's been, obviously, Cartes is one of the quickest guys we have in the SA leagues. And I think he's very close to having the top DR rating when it comes to the GT Sport rankings in South Africa. He's extremely high on the DR ratings.
He's lost 1 or 2 rounds of FIA he didn't have time to practice for, but he wanted the bonus points. So he had a couple 13th places, which cost him a little bit. But he's still up there, around 55,000 DR.
Wow.
I think he was just over 60 at one stage.
That's just awesome.
Okay, just to give everyone as well, what's going to happen now is at 9 o'clock, we are resetting the lobby for a 5-minute qualifying session. That'll be the only qualifying session of the night. From there on, the next race grid will be determined by the finishing positions of the previous race.
Correct. And then we're going to run the same as the World Tour, where each race the driver gets points from first down to 12th, or actually 12th and 11th will get 0 points. 10th get 1, 2 for 9th, going up. The only numbers where there's a gap is 4th gets 7 points, 3rd gets 8 points, 2nd gets 10, and 1st gets 12. So 1st and 2nd get an extra little gap on the points there as a reward. So we're going to add those up for the 1st and 2nd race, and then the 3rd race is double points, because that's obviously the main long race.
And at the end of the evening, we hopefully won't have a tie, although I don't think it's possible. My maths works out correctly. I don't quite think it's possible to have a tie. But if we do, then stay tuned, because then I'm pretty sure somewhere in this week we'll have a final showdown.
If I'm under correction, but I think if there is a tie at the end of the 3 races, the driver in the main race that had the better position takes it.
That's right.
Or we just make them have a one-on-one.
Around the Nordschleife in a mini.
I was about to say that. You read my mind. Sebi's a Lewis Hamilton fan from what I can see. Keep the comments and questions going in the chat. I'm surprised we haven't got a lot from Gary yet. Someone go wake Gary up.
Is Gary still awake? So for the guys watching the stream, you'll notice that I'm fairly quiet tonight, and that's because it's actually awesome having both Steven and Werner joining me for commentating tonight, because they can keep things going, and I'm absolutely loving it.
As usual, Josh will only pop in just to nail a point home.
Yep.
Just like the WhatsApp group. Comes in, dominates, and disappears. Okay, we seem to...
I think Henny is probably just doing a
safety system
check. Safety system check and restart, just to make sure he doesn't have any issues. Yeah, and he's back. This is already, just from looking at the warm-up, that's already shaping up. The times are incredibly close. This is going to be a hell of a race. Not Stinky is the new guy in the bunch. This is the first season where he's been competing with us.
And Dino.
And so is Dino. So we got some debutants. Some of the old guard. Obviously Leap, Pace, Mikhail, Cartes. They've got the experience. This is going to be an epic battle.
Sunburn Doki, this is only his second season of. Actually, it's his first full season with us because
first full
he missed
season.
two
He's also
races last season. Yeah.
Sebi says Stinky is his
my
hero. I don't know about hero, but I'm just glad I'm not in a race with him.
Ruan, Mr. AM Racing.
Unlucky not to be racing himself.
He's very unlucky, and he's. I know he told me he's not too happy about that, but you know what? There's always next season. But I like that comment, but it seems a bit biased, like those guys are your teammates or something. That's what it sounds like.
It's like almost like that Club Datsun.
All right, and qualifying is on, gents.
Josh, just if you could, Vanna actually, sorry, if you could, once we start going here, get onto pace from the camera view behind the third-person camera with Mr. Pace.
There we go. That one.
That's Carty, so just one up with Pace.
Look at that lovely Senna replica helmet.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Another one I noticed, not surprisingly, Carty's overalls and helmets, custom, very standout.
What's the tease?
Dino Cantino's not too bad since I think that's the one I made him. Yeah, let's have a look at Mr. Dino Cantino after Carty's.
Okay, I'm gonna go there slowly. I'm just cycling through. Deadman Racing. I like that. Serious Sam has the doctor on his helmet. I think that will excite Sebi a bit there.
There we go. Serious Sam with a Rossi replica.
Oh, please. Shoaib.
Oh.
Shoaib is going to come last.
He'll never walk at the back.
Looking at the timing screens at the moment, Carty's fastest first sector. Serious Sam then put in the fastest second sector. Third sector first. KLM Pace, fastest third sector.
Look at that outfit and helmet. If you can go to the TV camera view, because I just want to see if you can get a shot on the side. Dino looking back. We've got the SA flag decal that featured on most of the cars this season, on both sides and the top of that helmet. I think
very nice.
It's quite nice with the carts is that you actually get to see the guys.
I think it is the nicest car to be able to see the actual suit livery and helmet livery as well. And there's guys, and Stephen, you're one of them, that spends a lot of time perfecting what they look like. Stiggy reckons there's some fancy tracksuits out there.
I'm sure you guys have seen it. It often pops up in lobbies. The guys that have the actual tux outfit, those were very popular when this suit and helmet editor came out. It looks like a guy's wearing a three-piece, and then obviously the bikini model as well. But some guys take it a bit more seriously and they focus on what it actually looks like as a racer.
So I see we have MJ Ninja up at the top on the timings. Whoa! And he just got the commentator's curse and went off.
Yeah, he set a blistering last sector. And he's currently less than 0.02 seconds ahead of Leap.
Yeah.
The top six currently is only separated by 0.3 of a second. So we're expecting some slipstreams to come through here. There's only about a minute and a half left of this qualifying session, so it's probably another 2 laps for these guys.
I think the name of the game is slipstream here. You make half a second if you can time it right. Jump from 8th to pole. I was surprised to not see some of the guys you'd think working together. Team Datsun.
Henny Bears also has a funky looking helmet. Didn't notice it the last time around.
Shoaib has just taken pole position, provisional.
Wow.
Followed by Sunburn. So all of a sudden Ninja's gone down to third.
reigning
But look
champs only sitting in 7th at the moment.
Look at the gap though. I mean, it's like it's less than 0.1 of a second between the three of them.
Well, Cartes, who was the early leaders, now sitting in 12th, only 7/10 off pole.
Wow. This is as close racing as you will get.
Yeah.
Currently 0.8 seconds between first place and 12th place.
That's
I think everyone's
less than a second gap.
Henny Bez is about to be the last person to start his flying lap. I think there's enough time for him to get round. Everyone's on their last lap now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Josh, I know we spoke about this earlier, but let's hear from the boss man. Who is your pick for this kart race? Not overall, let's just go karts
for the
now.
kart race. Wow. I'm actually quite surprised at this the time so far, but I have to say I think Sunburn Donkey is going to be my favorite for this one.
Yeah, I think that's everyone done. Time to hit the
That
start
is
button.
everyone done. As is normally the case with GT Sport races, there's no gap between qualifying and the race start, so we go straight into the race.
And fingers crossed that we don't have that
fingers crossed we don't have an auto drive.
This is going to be an awesome race to watch.
What's Liverpool doing in first place? Crazy year. Must be 2020.
Must be 2020. Just 12 laps. That's not going to take too long. I would say around about 10 minutes for the whole race, Stephen.
Yeah. Was it?
Let's just hope there's no auto drive issues here.
Looks like everyone is away fine.
Correct. So, Cartes, one of our reigning champions at the back. Pace, one of the reigning champion, 8th place, and everything's up to play for.
Brilliant lap from Shoaib to get the pole position. I think it's quite important with the karts.
Sebi shouting for the guy with the Rossi helmet. That would be Henny Bears.
No, not Henny Bears. I think it's Serious Sam with the Rossi helmet.
No. Well, he might also see what Sam is. It looks like both of them have the same helmet.
Excellent battle, yeah. Sunburned.
Sunburn's gone in the lead.
Someone just went.
Off.
Ninja went flying.
Yeah. Must have just clipped the grass there.
That chicane is deadly.
That's the Wall of Champions we spoke about before.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But he's going again. He's not too far off the back.
Not too far off, and it was quite early in the race, so he has some
3.5 seconds off Cartes. The main thing's to get back in that slipstream.
Yeah. How strong is it, or how good is that slipstream, Stephen?
Easy, half a second a lap here.
Wow.
We'll actually monitor it as we go, but everyone's trying to stay on track. Pace is right behind, not Stinky.
Not the easiest of
McCall clipping the grass says.
To handle,
You'd think go-karts are easy, but they're so twitchy, and once the rear end comes out, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
We've got a big battle for second place. Leap, Sam, GTRSA all side by side, right behind Donkey.
I'm just cycling through just to have a look. I see KLM Pace is still down in 7th, GTP GTI in 8th, Dino Cantino in 9th, Henny Bears in 10th, Cartes in 11th.
Pace and Stinky working well together, carving through the field. They're up to 4th and 5th place, respectively, and they are right on the back of Shoaib now.
Looks
this
like
is about to become a 5-way battle for the lead.
Very respectful racing here.
Yeah, look, I'm going to use one of my favorite
Yeah,
Murray
if
Walker
we keep
quotes.
watching these guys now, this is not what you would see generally in an FIA race, where
No,
guys behave themselves and leave each other room and space, and no
look
one
at
is
that.
forcing anyone off the track.
You're asking about the slipstream earlier. Look how the top 7 have all pulled together with that
Wow.
slipstream.
Yeah, I can see that.
And
It's
Leap's in
unbelievable.
a unique car, which is very special. It's identical to all the others. Favorite Murray Walker quote.
Some of the back guys are
Oh.
dropping off a bit.
Yeah.
Dino's dropping a bit, 1.5 seconds off the pace of that top 7.
Yeah.
Top 6 separated by 1 second, gents.
Wow.
Dino's 1.4 off the back here, but if he can hang in that slipstream, which is about 1.5, he might be able to pull back in there. And then you have Henny Bears, Carties, Sam and Ninja. They 3.5 to 4 seconds back. I see Carties is up to 10th from 12th, but it looks like once he gets past Henny, he's going to have his work cut out for him to catch the front runners.
Yeah. Oh, Sunburnt and Leap are almost side by side there for a few seconds. And Leap's gone to the lead. He's managed to take the lead.
Donkey was changing every corner, and that's going to help the guys behind them get back into the act.
Yeah.
We should have actually made this like a 50 lap race. I could watch this all night.
What's up, Gary? I see you finally joined us.
Stinky is now right on the back of the leading 3.
Yep.
And Pace is only a third of a second behind him.
I'm
there's
just
a big gap
exit
there.
the spectator mode because
0.25.
I can't cycle through the cameras. So I'm just going to exit and get back in there.
Oh no, Pace, getting twitchy there.
And 5 laps to go.
Correct.
Leap, Sunburnt and Shoaib leading the way. Doketso and Mikhail making up the top 5.
This is I think this is a nice view from Not Stinky's car, showing the top 4 and how close they are. And then Mikhail is not very far away as well in 5th place.
Well, I see Dino's up to 7th. Mr. Cantino got past GTP, GTI.
And he's right on the back of Kayla now.
Pace has just made a move on, and he's
Stinky.
up into 5th. Yeah.
No.
Koketso has gone up to 3rd now.
Yeah.
Mikhail dropped back there.
Mikhail has dropped off, yeah.
It's changing so quickly at the front here. We've got Donkey and GTRSA still having that huge battle, but any one of the first 8 could win it here.
Yep. Look at this. You can see all 8 of them on this small straight. This is unbelievable.
So, Josh, your call, who's going to win it?
Well, I said Sunburnt at the beginning of the race, and I'm going to stick with that. I think he's got it.
Yeah.
Shoaib is racing very cleverly at the moment. You can see he's not really pulling a move on Sunburnt. He's trying to stay in his slipstream and hoping that the 2 of them can actually pull out a bit of a lead. Leap has other ideas though. He's right on the tail of Shoaib now. Stinky has dropped to 5th place now with Pace coming up to 4th.
Yes.
One thing, Koketso is very quick, but he hasn't had huge amounts of practice battling like this at this level.
Yeah.
So I think he does get a bit timid at times.
Yeah. Dino's
watch
dropped down
him
to
get
8.
super-
I'm not sure what happened to him there.
Half a second gap, that's like a month in this kind of racing. It's already closed down to 3/10. We're on the second last lap already, just about to start the last lap.
Wow.
So can Donkey hold on?
Ultimately, it's going to come down to this last chicane.
Yeah. Whoever can be in the
Yeah.
slipstream until the end of this.
The braking zone before the chicane is probably your best bet. Down the hill. I don't know,
Stinky has gone wide
and
He's gonna
GTP,
lose.
GTI. GTP is spinning.
in the wall.
Stinky went to the back of the queue 7th, but he managed to keep it the same way, facing the right way.
Mikhail's got a 3-second penalty.
Don't know what happened there. It's down to the top 4, but I think Leap's going to go for a dive bomb here.
And he's got
Or
him.
just drive up the inside. Maybe Donkey's going to take the
Donkey's
dive.
going to go for it. Whoa!
And when I
Shoaib's
say
very
dive, I
close
mean a
as well.
clean late overtake. Not a FIA dive. Oh, a little bit of contact shade there.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes,
Dino's up
this
to
is tight. They are 4 abreast coming
Sure.
across the line.
Look at that finish. That
Incredible.
was unbelievable.
Leap
The
takes
top
it from
5.
Donkey, followed by Shoaib, Kalen, Dino in
What a
5th
race.
place. What a race.
Let's get some comments in from the viewers. Show these guys, when they watch it back, that there's some appreciation for that driving.
My hands are sweating just watching.
Jesse Swartz reckons you can hear on Pacer Stream they are working together. So there's definitely some team workings happening in here.
And I did see on the WhatsApp group, the Nations guys were also planning something like that. So it's
Well, it's worked
A
for
little
them in
bit of
race
rivalry.
1 because 1 and 2 are both Nations guys.
yeah.
But then the manufacturers take away 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. So
What a race there.
That was unbelievable. Wow.
all right, so what we'll be doing next, we're going to be changing the track. We'll stay in the same lobby. That's the beauty of GT Sport. We are going to be changing the track, and we're going to give these guys maybe a 5 to 10 minute warm-up session while we set the grid.
So what's the next race, guys? Can you give us a rundown of what the next race is going to be?
Over to Stephen.
The next race will be Autopolis. I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation, but it's
Sounds about
venue
right.
in Japan. Built 4 super GT cars, and we are using the Mazda VGT GR3 car that just got launched as a one make, mainly because we didn't want to give anyone an advantage with cars or tracks. So they haven't driven that track, and up until today, I don't think they would have driven that car too much either. So that's going to be the second race. Also sprint, only 6 laps, around 2 minutes, or actually I think around 1:45 a lap. So also about 10-12 minutes.
Nice. So, while we have a break and while Werner is busy setting up the lobby for the next race, what do you guys think of season 2?
I enjoyed it up until my pedals broke. It got me doing more FIAs. I enjoyed the GT Sport races as usual more. I was murdered in a few FIAs. Vano and myself were actually both rear-ended in the same corner of the same race at Tokyo. We got punted like American football. But other than that, yeah, there's been some good racing, unbelievable results. Stinky, I think, won 3 A-plus lobby races in a row, around 280 DR, 280 points for the FIA each. Mr. Vanner?
Yeah, so this is the this is the first time that GT Sport followed the FIA race schedule, and I think it was a fantastic idea, and the season turned out amazingly well. Everyone enjoyed it, and I think we'll go from strength to strength. So I think we'll follow this model definitely for the next season. We'll give a little bit more detail on the next season.
Gary's on, so before
later.
Gary goes to bed, tell him when seeding is, maybe. It'll keep him awake a little bit.
All right, just for Gary, You personally will seed while the other 200 guys watch you on Thursday. We will then determine if your time is good enough for you to remain in the group.
Just going back to that last race, I'm busy writing results and points, so I keep track of it for myself. But Dino ending up fifth there, and definitely not a bad result. He is a bit of a kart specialist, but he's just switched to a wheel, so to hang in there and only be, what was he, at the end, under 4/10 of a second off the win. It was a good, very good result. Obviously, that's going to be the starting order for the next race. So guys like GTP, Carties, a little further down the order, 7th and 8th, they're going to have their work cut out for them.
All right, just double check, Stephen, the settings. So the only thing I just need to make sure is that we have the tire setting, which I did not.
No tire wear or fuel.
No tire or fuel, but just making sure that the tire is racing medium.
Correct.
There we go. And the guys will have a 10-minute warm-up, so race start will be at 9:30.
Let's see. Already looking. Big props to Mr. Kalen Pace as well. The guy's so professional. I see even his kart, he went and did all 3 cars today in the Pace Motorsport livery, and looking fantastic.
These cars sound really nice.
Another shout out to him. He's in the process of moving house, and he temporarily set up a station for him to be able to still race tonight.
Yeah.
I see GTP GTI is using my latest livery for the Mazda, so it's always good to feature.
He just thanked you on the actual lobby. Thanks for the livery.
There we go. We can have a look at it. You wanna run us through this livery, Stephen? What it's about?
Once my phone unfreezes, I can see. Yeah, there we go. So it was basic. I took a purple pink fade decal, laid that over the top, and you won't see it too much from this distance, but there's a whole lot of little outlined squiggles basically, and then all that white got put down over the top. So the pink and blue is the actual color, the white is the sticker. There's a little bit of working backwards there. Normally you would take a white car and put weird colors on it. I don't know if we're going to get close enough, but the car is running number 9, which is my race number normally. See who else is. Leap's been doing a fantastic green and gold SA color scheme on all his cars lately, and that's also looking seriously good on the Mazda.
Serious Sam also has a very serious livery running.
Yeah, I was just looking at that now, yeah. That looks very nice.
There you go.
Boys, what are we expecting here? A little bit more of the same in terms of the guys we expect to see in the front? Or
I think some of the manufacturers' guys, they're more used to the GR3 cars. We've got GTRSA, Pace, Dino, and Not Stinky in 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th on the grid. Not to say that Sunburnt and Leap won't be able to handle the GR3 car, they're just probably a little bit more used to the variety from Nations.
I'm just having a look. I see Pace has his usual Pace Motorsport livery. Stinky has a nice livery as well on his car.
Yeah. What I was saying about Pace's livery is he did all 3 cars today in between moving, trying to find a desk and getting some practice in.
Yeah, and he posted a
I told
picture
him,
that looked quite precarious, where he had his steering mounted on a. It
yeah.
was fairly thick glass, but glass nonetheless. I was actually thinking uh, with the force feedback, especially from the carts, it might be a bit dangerous.
Just going to give them a quick warning that it's 5 minutes to start.
So, Werner, seeding on Thursday.
That's correct. So on
Season
Thursday,
3.
we will announce the track and the car. We're going to be running it the same as the Season 2 seeding, so there'll be a lobby set up throughout the day, and you will get your hour slot that's assigned to you and which pool you're in and who your host is. And again, everyone will be running the same track and the same car to keep it as fair as possible. Also, just what we're doing for this following season, the top 15 guys on the manufacturer points table and the top 15 guys on the nation's points table will get immunity into Pool 1. So they will start the next season in Pool 1 already. That just means that the other guys will be seeding to see the top, obviously the 15 fastest, the next fastest will go into Pool 2, etc., etc.
Yeah.
If someone decides to switch between nations and manufacturer or the other way for the upcoming season, they're more than welcome to, but they will forfeit their position in the Pool 1.
Yeah.
They will have to seed again for whichever series they then move to.
I think that's just fair. So also I've gotten word from our web developer Ruan that the registration link will be live on Wednesday afternoon by the latest. I'm not going to hold him to that because I know he's also moving house and he hasn't set up anything as yet. But yeah, so we'll have that up on Wednesday. But in the meantime, if guys want to switch between manufacturers and nations, they can just let me know as well, so that when we're doing everything, we will know what's happening. And just to make it more clear, the top 15 guys are going to get immunity from seeding, but that doesn't mean they can't get demoted after race 1. So
Correct.
the immunity is only for race 1. But
That's correct. So after that, the standard
will go as
after
usual
that the standard process will go forward.
Yep. Mr. Letabo, that's correct. Yes, we're gonna stick to the FIA races for next season. It's gonna be a long one because we're gonna be taking both round 2 and round 3, or stage
I think they
2
call
and
them
stage 3.
phases or stages.
Stages.
Yeah.
So
stage 2 and 3
and stage 3
will be our season 3.
So we actually looking at 9 races because obviously we're gonna miss out on this coming week's race, FIA race. So we're gonna be racing 9 weeks of FIA.
All right, just a quick run through the grid. Stephen, if you just want to double check that I've set it correctly. It'll be Leap on pole, followed by Sunburnt, GTRSA in third, Pace in fourth. The third row will be Dino and Stinky.
Yep.
Mikhail and GTP will be making up the fourth row. Fifth row will be Carties and Henny. And then making up the rear will be Ninja and Sam.
Yeah, that's correct. And then just looking before we start at the lap times, so far Pace, Leap, Carties, Mikhail and Donkey are the fastest on track. Sirius Sam just jumped up. Slowest Dino, GTRSA, and not Stinky, but obviously that can change.
I think Stinky is sandbagging.
Yeah.
2 minutes 3, there is no ways.
Let's see what this lap is. He's about to finish, and then I think it's time to get the race underway.
Absolutely.
So, Vanda, Dion wants to know whether we're going to be seeding with the Hyundai.
I will definitely be seeding with the Hyundai.
That magic Hyundai of yours.
It's the best brand in the world, and it's the best manufacturer in GT Sport.
Above Ferrari, Lamborghini.
Absolutely, no doubt. All right,
okay, so away we go.
Away we go.
So, race 2 of 3.
Yeah, obviously, the third race is double points, but it's very important to get some decent results in the first two. Monty, welcome to the stream, bud. And
Looks
we've
like
got a
everyone
grid
is
start
away.
here.
Wow.
Everyone is getting away clean.
Hopefully for no problems in the first corner. I'm just going to watch from the back, but yeah, it looks like 1 or 2 wide, but all in all, they all made it through.
Pace has dropped back to 8th position after that start. Not ideal.
Oh, and someone went off there. Is that Pace? No. We have Not Stinky nudged off. That's big. With his pace, I'm sure he can throw something in here, but he got beat up a little bit there.
It's only 6 laps, so it's quite difficult to really catch up, right? But I do think that with his age, he's going to learn a lot, and it's really going to help him to start battling, especially when it comes to being in traffic and being within a bunch of cars. I think maybe that's where he'll need to improve, and that's where he will improve the most.
Looks like Mr. Pace is battling a bit with the rear.
Yeah, Pace and Stinky making up the rear at the moment.
Yeah. Pace looks like he's battling to keep this car straight. The rear end
I drove it on this track
out.
earlier today, and it wasn't the easiest car.
Yeah, and he's going to be at a disadvantage because he doesn't have his rig, so he's got a makeshift rig. It obviously makes
someone
a huge
just
difference.
lagged right off the side of the screen there. Henny Bez.
I see Henny Bez is sitting here.
That's strange. Out front, we still got Leap, then Sunburnt, Donkey, and McCall. Looks like
Leap is flying off into the distance. He's got a 1.5 second lead at the moment over Sunburnt.
Looks like the Nations guys are taking it at the moment. Then we have GTRSA, Cartes, and Dino. I see Cartes has moved up quite far so far, up into 10th to 5th. And we got MJ Ninja, Sirius Sam, GTP, GTR 7th, 8th, Pace 10th, and Not Stinky 11th, with Henny quite far back now in 12th. He also did say he didn't have much time to practice today, so
Cartes is roundabout there, he's in 4th position.
So he's taken another place off GTRSA.
Yeah. It's moving
Maybe
up slowly.
Mr. Carty's is a man to watch.
Possibly, yes. We already on lap 2, but it's still a long way to go. It's a fairly long lap as well.
Carty's son was setting times that would have put him probably in about 8th or 9th place on the grid for the kart race.
Yes.
Definitely racing in the blood there.
How are we doing? Dino hanging on to 6th, Sam 7th. Looking at the back. Pace is making a move around the outside of GTP, GTR there.
Still 3 laps to go after this one, and Pace is
Around 8
it's only about a second and a half or 5th place at the moment, so
yeah.
It's damage limitation. Leaps extended the lead to about 1.8 from Donkey. Donkey's just under second ahead of McCall. Carty's 2.2 back. He's pulled 1 second on GTRSA, and then Dino another 3 seconds back.
Pace just goes up the inside of Serious Sam.
Whoa!
And unfortunately drifts wide and is into the barrier.
I think there was a little bump there from the back, but I'm not sure.
There was definitely a little bump there. It'll be interesting to watch the replays afterwards.
Yeah.
Of course, the incident review panel, which we have running, will still be in place for the races tonight.
That's it. Yes. Stinky has spun off as well.
Pace unfortunately dropped all the way to the back.
Yeah, that's his race pretty much done. There's definitely
Dino is attempting to move up the inside of Serious Sam. That is beautifully done under braking.
He's done it here. He's gone through. Someone has gone wide. He's at MJ Ninja. And he's taken.
And he pulled back on right in front of them.
Sure.
Not the best way to do that, but fortunately they all survived. Dino back up to 6th. Seem to be fairly static at the front. 2 seconds. Leap Sunburnt
Interesting
to
battle coming up between Mikhail and Sunburnt, I would say, for second place.
That's around half a second.
Mikhail has just gone through the second sector of the lap, the fastest so far, purple sectors.
And maybe it's a analog stick on the controller making the rear end of this car easier to control. He's definitely pulling slightly away from Carty's. The gap's up to 2.5 now. It's fairly static. It's very unfortunate with Mr. Pace. I'm sure he's not going to be too happy, but I went back on the YouTube channel quickly and it seemed like he went around the outside, the car in front had a little bit of a sideways moment. Pace avoided him, and that's what caused the contact from behind when he slammed the brakes. But yeah, even then he's 33 seconds off the back now, so with the 2 laps to go, I don't see anyone making that up.
No, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
I'm afraid that's pace for this race, but I have no doubt he'll storm back in the GR1 cars.
Other spinner Henny Bez, he is 26 seconds off the lead, still 6.5 ahead of pace. Not Stinky is having a battle with Sam. GTP, GTI, and MJ Ninja having a nice little fight. So it seems we've got a couple little pods around the track. Yeah. Seems to be some action at the front there. Leaps, gaps dropped to under 2 seconds. Donkey's only a second ahead of Mikhail. One little mistake here and you can be off, as we've seen already, so it's not all over at the front.
I'm just sticking with this battle here between
it's great racing there with
Sam
Not Stinky
and,
giving space there.
Yeah. I just want to get a in-car view very quickly and
It's Sam's got a quite aggressive driving style, so let's see how
yeah,
Not Stinky's a little bit more the other way goes about this.
more conservative.
Yeah, conservative.
Oh,
I think
some very
one of the
nice
most
race.
important things, if you see the section they're coming through on the track, is to actually not push too hard. It's so technical.
Yes.
Overdriving it tends to be the biggest problem.
Stinky with a great exit out the last corner.
Yes, yes. Sam was going a bit sideways there, so this could be the opportunity for Stinky. Yeah, he sticks it on the inside,
Great move.
gets the job done.
Sam all over the curbs trying to hold him off.
Yeah.
See if he can hold it.
On the
Another
last
good
lap
battle
at the
here.
front, Leap's got about a 2.2 second lead, so it looks like he's got his second win in the
Constant.
bag. Sunburnt in second place. Mikhail, I don't think he's close enough at the moment.
That gap's been a second down to half a second, back to 8/10, so it's also very
Carty's
hard.
having a very quiet, lonely race in fourth place.
Yeah, which is still
Same
very
with
good
Dino as
considering
well.
he came
He's in-
from 10th.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Dino's
Dino
hanging
is
in there,
he's in sixth
lonely,
position,
6 seconds behind Shaib and 3 ahead of Ninja.
Quite spaced out. I didn't expect this. I expected a much more closer racing through the laps.
I think a bit of the contact and nudging and bumping caused a
Yeah.
few gaps.
Yeah.
We've got a nice little dice for 6th and 7th coming to.
Leap takes the win. Sunburnt in second place.
Mikhail 3rd.
Kachi's fourth. Dino's coming in at sixth.
MJ Ninja just holding off GTP GTI in that livery. Yes. Not Stinky recovering to 9th. Unfortunate incident for him. Sam 10th.
Serious Sam taking up the last point.
I don't know what happened to Pace on the last lap because he had the gap down to 3 seconds, but I see it's back up to 8 again, so he also had another excursion somewhere along the line. Well, there we go. That was totally the opposite of the first race. A few bumps and bruises and gaps.
Yeah.
What did you think of that one, Dino? Vanna?
Yeah, it was an interesting race. I think Leap unchallenged in the front, and you could stretch out that lead and get out of slipstream range, which then just means some nice conservative clean driving, and you should be able to pull it off. It's unfortunate about pace. I think we'll have to look at the replays afterwards exactly to see what happened there.
Yes.
But yeah, Sunburnt, Leap looking solid. 1-2, 1-2 again, and now only up to the last race.
The last and final race for the season.
That's a big one. We're going to have some very fast old Le Mans Group C cars. I saw a lot of guys practicing with the Nissan. There was a rumor that the Porsche might be slightly faster but heavier on fuel.
So what's the settings for the last race, Stephen?
We're going to be running 12 laps. I think they were doing 2-minute 40 odd laps earlier, and 7 times tyre wear, 4 times fuel, with soft and medium tyres allowed, required, not allowed.
I'm having looks like a bit of a freeze here, everyone. Just asking everyone in the lobby to press the red cross.
It looks like they are.
I can't seem to access the race results or the replay or anything. It's almost as if the race is still going on my side. So I've just asked everyone to.
Exit.
I'm gonna bring up the race results screen. There we go. Stephen, do you want to take a screenshot of that?
That's fine, I've got it. I
Right.
just need a photo of that to set the grid.
Okay. Tell me when you want me to move down.
Yeah, all 12 is on this page.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Brilliant. So, from our viewers, let's hear what's your prediction for the final race? Who's going to take it? Leap has been in good form tonight. Yeah, Gary is right actually. It's Nations 2, Menu 0.
I was waiting for that. Okay, guys, I've got a bit of a problem here. I can't seem to change any of the settings. I don't know what is going on here.
Do you maybe you want to restart the lobby?
I think it's probably going to be the best bet. So
Yeah, okay. Then maybe just post a message just to say check the WhatsApp group or something, and then we can have a little extra time.
it is the strangest thing. I can send messages, but I can't access any of the other things except the exit button. Okay, so I'm going to kill this lobby and I'm just going to reopen it.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, while we're on it, I've just added up the points from the first two races. Obviously, we have Leap with 2 wins, which gives him 24 points. Sunburned Donkey has 20. Then there's quite a big gap due to some of the guys finishing in different orders. GTRSA, he is third place with 14 points. In fourth place, Mikal, 12 points. Then Dino in fifth with 11. 9 points for Carties, and then we have a bit of a tie, 7 for Pace, 7 for Not Stinky, 6 points for GTP, and Ninja 4, Henny 1, Sam 1. So, yeah, the most bad run for Mr. Pace, and not earning any points, he's sitting way down where you expect the reigning champ to be. But it's all double points, anyone could still win it.
Some interesting comments from the guys. Donkey Time. Papa J is voting for Dino.
Papa J drinking.
Jesse is voting for Pace. Who else?
I mean, it's hard to put blame specifically, but did you see what happened with that incident with Pace at the end there?
Unfortunately, I didn't. We'll have to maybe watch the replay just to have a look to see what happened there. But we'll definitely use the normal incident review process, and definitely will, before we finalize the results, we'll make sure that everything is taken into account. Another vote for Donkey from Splonks GT, Mr. Grant.
Obviously, even with the review right now, it's looking like our top 2 are untouchable. Shaheen Donkey for the win, guys. Jacob's Vanna guy breaks the room. Typical.
And now he's gone silent. He's not even talking to us.
I'm telling you. So while we're waiting for the room, 35 of you in the chat, let's have some feedback. What do you think? Let's start with Season 3 for GTSA, the combined Stage 2 and 3 of FIA. What do we think? Demon Racer says he's going to take a leap and say leap for the win. Best place to be is in front where the trouble isn't, so
Yeah,
might
very
very
true.
well be right.
So guys, Season 3. Any thoughts on Season 3 and combining the two FIA stages? It's going to be 9 races long, so there's going to be a lot of time to catch up. Even if you don't see too well, you're going to still be able to get to the top pool.
Yeah, AM Racing saying the best didn't race though. I know, but unfortunately my pedals are broken. I'm not sure who else he could be talking about.
He was talking about me.
I see Dion says it sounds good as long as we have more races.
Yeah, well, it's going to be 9 races long, so I think that's actually going to help a lot. Look, Season 2 was just a trial just to make sure that
We could pull the FIA matching
that's it. Yeah,
idea off.
yeah,
It's gone very well. I mean, especially, I think we've had 2 or 3 Saturdays where everyone jumped on and the group was lit. Non-stop messages, results, those hundreds of wins that I posted on our Facebook group.
yes, yes.
Nikki De Beer, very welcome.
That's it, Rowan. We'll just have to settle for the rest of these guys racing.
All right,
Since the
gents,
best
lobby
couldn't
back
take
up.
part. Ah, brilliant.
Everyone on YouTube doesn't have to shoot themselves listening to me. Yeah, Mr. Sheep, let's go, let's go.
Stephen,
Also,
just confirming, this race is 13 laps, right?
Correct. I think I did say 12 earlier, but I said 13. Unlucky for some on the actual settings.
Demon Racer, are you talking about the actual FIA races or the GTSSA races when you say the bad driver's knocking you off?
I'm sure mostly that would be the FIA races.
I hope so.
I mean, I started the season at 43,000 DR, and by the end of the first 3 races, I think it was actually by the end of the 4th round, I was down to 28 because I did 3 races a day, 4 days, and each time I got punted. So I feel your pain there, Demon. But yeah, you just work it up and it makes the good races even more sweeter.
Yeah, I think that's just, it is sad that you'd expect as the SR and DR goes higher that the incidents would be a lot less, but it does seem like even guys with higher DR and SR are just as dirty.
All right,
Sean
gents.
Scudder says FIA is filthy. Also saw a comment from him just now that I was going to mention, but someone else was speaking. He says it's a great format and hopefully gets SA's participation noticed going forward. So
Yeah.
that was the aim. Don't feel shy to throw a few tweets to at the Gran Turismo or Kaz Yamagachi or on Twitter.
Yeah.
Post your wins and ask him why SA doesn't have FIA status.
I've been told that we need to get affiliation and that sort of thing, and I've actually set up a meeting with Motorsport South Africa, but unfortunately, I couldn't make it for the meeting this past week, so I've had to reschedule it for next week, and hopefully this coming week that will go through, and then I need to then speak to the rights holders in SA for Sony products, which used to be Sturkinico, but is now a branch of Sturkinico called Team Finity, if I'm not mistaken. So I need an in there, so I can get chatting to them. So yeah, there is things in motion in the background, but we'll definitely keep you guys posted what's happening.
Onto the race here. Interestingly enough, there's a bunch of Nissans, but we've got Mikal in a Nissan. Or I'll just go through who's in the Nissan. Mikal, Cartes, Dino, Sam, Henny, Leap, Donkey, and GTP GTI. But then we have MJ Ninja in the Porsche 926. We have Callum Pace in the Sauber Mercedes. And we have Not Stinky in the rotary Mazda.
Yeah,
the 787B.
That 787B Mazda is probably my single favorite racing car in the whole world. I grew up watching that with my dad around Le Mans.
Nice.
It might not be as colourful, but same general era. The Sauber Mercedes.
Yes.
Michael Schumacher, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, and Carl Wendlinger.
That's it.
I think that was a year or two newer than the one that's in the game here, but that's
fairly decent
Silver,
team.
Yeah, not too bad. The other thing with, I could be wrong now, but Heinz-Harald Frentzen is his girlfriend Corina did one of those amazing things that happen when you're in your early 20s, and she ditched him for Michael. So not only did Michael end up with the better car, the better team, Heinz-Harald did, I think he drove for Jordan and a few mid-pack Formula One teams. Michael got the Benetton and then the Ferrari, and that's history.
And the 7 world titles.
Yeah, and he got the goal as well. So if you're a racing driver and your teammates after your goal, just make sure you beat him. Because as Heinz-Harald knows, it didn't quite work out for him.
All right, we again just giving the guys around 10 minutes just to get their eyes in around this track. This is a tricky one. It's a lot of corners, a lot of 90-degree corners, but then some really, really fast sections as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how the guys manage the tire wear on these the old Group C cars. They are renowned to be quite heavy on the tires. Of course, for this race, as with the FIA races, there is a compulsory pit stop required. They have to use both compounds of tires, the medium and the soft. So what we'll generally see is there's no qualifying session, so we'll probably see a split strategy happening here, where I would say probably the top 6 guys will start on the softs and try and build out that lead, where the other guys will probably start on the mediums. We might even see a 3-stopper where guys decide that the medium tire for 1 lap is the way to go, and then do 12 laps on softs, 2 stints of 6.
Yeah.
The beauty of this is the guys didn't really have too much time to practice. So,
and you can see it shakes up the order, and the talent comes to the front. Can you just send them that reminder that the tires are compulsory to use both?
I will do that immediately.
We did tell them on the group. I'm just thinking, maybe after all the other excitement, they might forget. Looking at the times, Donkey is 0.027 faster than Pace at the moment, who's a second up on Sam, half a second to Leap, 4 tenths to Macau, then 2 seconds to GTP, 3 seconds to Henny. There's a few guys that haven't set a lap time yet, but they should be coming across shortly.
Yeah, the race will start in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just looking at these cars. That salvo of paces, I love that shape. It's so minimal. Even the wing at the back, it's just got those little center struts. Looks like it comes straight out of Boxburg.
I just love the noise that Mazda makes. It just sounds awesome.
I know. Can we do a few onboards from here, Vanna, while we practicing? Take a look at the cockpits.
Josh will have to do that.
Oh, sorry, Josh.
Here we go. Let's start with the.
This is for our friend Amin, who loves his cockpit view.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's Nissan, Sauber, all the Nissans, Mazda, Nissan, Porsche. Currently. I think Nissan had a special, buy one get one free.
I did see, I think it's GTP GTI is running in celebration of Bottle Store's opening today. He's running a Jägermeister livery.
Yes, I did see one. I don't think it's yes, it is GTP GTI. Yeah, you're right. These cockpit views are quite interesting. The difference in the instruments and the layouts and that sort of stuff.
And of course the manual gear lever.
Yep.
Yeah. It's crazy that they used to do 360 odd k's an hour down the straight at Le Mans and shifting with a manual stick in the middle of the night.
Insane.
Another thing is these cars, if you see them in real life, I've always pictured them like modern race cars, but they're actually quite small.
Yes, that's very true.
I mean, if you look at the current or the last few years LMP1 Toyotas, it's probably almost double the length in real life. How long they got till the race start there, Vanna?
About 3 minutes. I'm just reminding them that.
Yeah, just so they can.
I'm actually not. I'm not going to. Yeah, well, I'm not going to say that to them. It's part of the. It's part of having to be on the correct tires. So I did remind them that they do have to use both compounds, though.
Yeah, Dion says that Michael got Hans Harold seconds. That fits for a Murray Walker quote of, "That's history," and I'll say it's history because it happened in the past.
I'll go as far as to say that he might have gotten Heinz Harold seconds, but he did get a lot of other people's firsts as well.
Yeah, I was enjoying looking at those party pictures the other day. It seems like he likes enjoyed a good night out, bit of karaoke and a cigar. Which I knew about the good night out. I didn't know about the karaoke part.
Yeah, those photos were quite interesting, actually.
My favorite was.
Go for it.
My favorite was reading about Jensen Button's night with Michael and David Coulthard.
Yes.
That sounded like it was one hell of a night.
5,000 euros a night chalet in Spain. Just for a bit of a party. What I found quite interesting, though, Googling that, is what started me looking on the net was I saw on Formula One's Facebook group. I'll get it out now. Just excuse me while I interrupt myself. Third Murray Walker comment. David Coulthard, when Michael drove into the back of him at Spa in '98, he was instructed by McLaren to move out the way, and he lifted on the line in the spray and Michael drove into the back of him. He was so cross that he actually managed to beat David back to the pits with only 3 wheels on the car. And I was reading different stories about that, but I googled Coulthard and Schumacher, and besides from them having a few bust-ups, it seems like they went drinking a lot together. And Schumacher I expected, but I didn't expect that from David the Chin Coulthard. Especially seeing as how that moment in 98 probably gave Häkkinen the title, because he ended up winning it by about 4 points at the end of the year.
That's right.
Okay, so
Cool.
while we get... I think
Just a quick run through the grid. Stephen, if you can just double check again from the previous results.
Yeah.
Leap and Sunburnt, then followed by Mikhail and Cartes, Shoaib and Dino.
Correct.
We've got Ninja, GTP, Not Stinky, and then Serious Sam, and then Henny and Kalen will start last.
Yeah. Which is a pity for Pace, because looking at the practice times here, him and Donkey are dead even, so he's going to have to get through the traffic if he wants to try a fight for the win of this race.
Yeah.
Even then it might not be enough for the overall, but I'm sure he will be fired up to end on a high.
End on a high for sure. All right, and off we go.
So, Vanna, I don't think we heard your prediction for this race.
Yeah, it's tough to look past Sunburnt. I think his 2 biggest challengers will be Kalen and Stinky. I think the longer races will suit them better. But Sunburnt, starting from second position, I'm going to put my money on him, and I think he will actually end far enough ahead of Leap to take away the whole title. Yeah.
Well, when we were chatting earlier, he was one of, I think, the most promising, or not promising, most spoken about potential winner. One of the 3.
Yes, that's correct.
Let's see. 4th Murray Walker, and it's go, go, go. That one's easy. Dino does it and he doesn't even know it's a Murray Walker quote.
They all seem to be okay, fine.
Yeah. We already got Pace at the back looking all over some cars. I think being smooth and not rushing too much would be a good tactic here. You don't want to make any mistakes. It's a long race this time.
Also, just a reminder for the viewers that damage is on for this race, also as per the FIA races. Kalen has already made up 2 places.
That's right, yes.
Stinky, I'm interested with that rotary because it does tend to use fuel.
I think he should be okay because
I love
it's a
support for
mandatory
Donkey
pit
from
stop,
Wes, from Shaheen, correct. So I'm just going to go through quickly from the front. Leaps on soft, Sunburn soft. We've got Makal, Cartes, the first medium runners, Shaib, GT, RSA, he's on mediums. Dino's on mediums. Stinky's just gone into a wall.
Oh no.
And MJ Ninja's spun. All going on at the back. Those all seem to be their own problems, not contact with anyone. I'm not sure what happened with GTP, GTI.
Interestingly, Kalen started on the softs at the back.
Yeah, I think he just wants to get through.
He's already made up 5 positions, and he's only 7 seconds behind the leader.
Yeah, Dino's on mediums. Just going through the rest. The guys at the back, Ninja, Stinky, and GTP, GTR on medium, so maybe the cold tires caught them out there, although it is a long lap. And the Sheep's saying Leap for the win. Let's get love for the underdogs as well. Wes says Leap isn't an underdog. I
He
don't think he
definitely is
meant
not. No, a lot of people seem to think that Leap is an underdog, but he's one of the...
Up at the front,
Yeah.
Sunburnt just tried to move up into the last turn on Leap, and they both lost time. And Beckard is now in the lead.
I was about to say
Cartes is all over Sunburnt as well.
Yeah, the thing with guys like Leap and Cartes is they both disappear every now and again, then they come back and blitz everyone.
Yes.
And the new guys are like all settled in pool one, and then they get relegated. We also have a certain Armani Quintus, who one day might come back from his Rosberg
Rally escapades.
Yeah, rally escapades. I think he's too busy with puppies and married life, though. So I'm not sure if Dino's just battling with the mediums, but he's dropped back to 10th with Not Stinky right on the back. He was up in about 5th or 6th just now. Pace is in 6th place, hunting down GTRSA. He has got the gap to the lead.
Who is looking good? GTRSA on the mediums. Only 4.3 seconds behind the lead at the moment.
That's right.
Correct. Well, remember,
and he's in the slipstream of Cartes, so he must be fuel saving quite nicely as well.
Pace a little bit wide there.
I think Pace is really
pushing hard. He's on the softs. He's only 6 seconds behind now. He was about 8 just now. That's obviously the 2 seconds that Leap and Donkey lost when McCall got past. They're coming up to my favourite section of the track shortly, over the bridge into the little chicane. It's good fun in these cars. They just want to spin. So, yeah. Looking as it stands now, though, Leap would still be taking the overall when McCall would be jumping up a lot. Donkey would probably be locking in 2nd or 3rd. But obviously we have another half an hour odd to go, so a lot's going to change.
Yeah. Those early spins, a lot of people will just will just give up, but there's still a lot of racing to go, and there's enough time for all these guys to get back in it.
I'm looking at the front 3, and it looks like Sunburn's tires are probably the best of those 3 at the moment.
I see Henny Bez is left. I'm not sure if he got disconnected.
He's really showing in 8th. He's 8th place at the moment. He's not showing on your stream, but on my side he's sitting in 8th. He just went off, dropped to 9th. Now he's spun. He's in 10th. Oh, he hit Not Stinky and Ninja.
Oh dear.
You'll see it now on the stream, but that's the invisible car hitting him there.
Pace has just passed Shoaib, so he's now up to 5th place.
Henny Bez is not showing on my screen. I'm only seeing 11 people now.
He's in the race still, but he's just spun and dropped to last.
Unfortunately running in last place now, but he's definitely in the race. So.
Oh wow, okay. So Pace is catching up to Cartes.
I gotta...
Stevie, I see you getting a lot of comments here about your commentating skills.
They're just enjoying the Murray Walker quotes.
He's brilliant as a commentator. That's why I'm very quiet, because I don't have to say anything here.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. and then
Where's-
you have that.
Where says there's it's funny that there's 3 nations guys in front, so it most possibly could be nations 3-0 in this finals.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting enough at the front here, McCall's holding that gap and opening it up a little bit. And then Leap to Sunburn's also staying fairly constant, so I don't know if they're fuel saving now or tire saving.
Pace is right on the back of Carties now. 0.3 a second gap coming to the end
Looking
of the lap.
Carties' tires and fuel look a lot better.
That
We've
is
already
true.
got someone
That's
going into the
correct,
pits, GTRSA on his mediums.
Wow.
So he's going to try and do 10 laps on the softs, or he might be making 2 stops.
2 stops, yeah. That'll be interesting to see. I
It's
don't know.
earlier than definitely earlier than I expected.
Yeah. I thought he would at least go to the end of lap 5 with those mediums.
If we just going, so McCall's got a fair amount of fuel, just over half, a little bit more than Leap.
Sunburnt is not too bad as well. He's a little bit more than Leap as well.
Yeah, Pace has used half his tank, so he's definitely been pushing.
Yeah.
It's going to cost him a few seconds later on though. Carty seems to have been fuel saving quite a bit.
Yes. Serious Sam is just over half on his fuel. His tires don't look to be in too bad condition as well.
Only 3 seconds covering the top 3 at the moment.
Yes.
Looks like Dino.
Even if the order had to remain as is at the moment, I assume that Leap would take the title.
I think Leap would take it, Sunburn second, McCall third. Because currently McCall is sitting down on 12 points as opposed to their 24 and 20.
Okay, so the actual race we need to look at here will be between Sunburnt and Leap.
Currently, yeah.
But for Sunburn to take the title, he will need to win the race and Leap no better than third.
If Leap's second, then it'd be tied, and then that third
And Sunburnt
race
will-
deciding
okay.
would give it to him.
Okay.
Because currently it's 24 versus 20, but that's what the points for this race are, so it would end up switching around. They'd be tied on 44 points. If Leap came second and Sunburnt won. Which leads me in. Unless I'm very much mistaken, and I am very much mistaken. That's a Murray quote. I'm not mistaken. My maths is good. Yeah, so Dino's tires are still looking very good. I don't know if he pitted at some stage. It doesn't
I don't
look
think he
like
did,
it.
but that looks like very good tire wear from him. I was
yeah,
looking at that as well.
His tires are the same as GTP GTR's mediums.
Yes,
So
that's correct.
maybe that wheel is working for him.
Definitely.
I see Not Stinky's fuel's still looking good, and his mediums. Maybe it's not all over for him down in 11th. Henny Bears' tires are fairly well abused, soft so far. Half a tank worksheets. Yeah, I think out of the front 3, Leafs probably going to be suffering the most on tires.
GTP GTI just went into the pits. So did Pace.
Very interested in what Shaib's done, because I think he's definitely going to stop in extra time. He didn't put fuel, but he's obviously running a much quicker pace with the soft tires. He only lost around 7 seconds for the tire change. So maybe he's gone on
You
a
should keep an eye on his lap times to see how he's doing on his lap times.
Well, his last lap was a 2 minutes 40 on the dot, 0.6. So he was only 6/10 off the fastest lap, where Mikhail's last lap was a 41.8.
Wow.
Interestingly, Kalen has also gone to pit now, Kyle in pace, and he's put softs on again.
Yeah.
So he's definitely stopping again.
He did fill up with fuel as well, so I assume he's lost. He'll probably come in again at the end of lap 10, and then put on the mediums for 3 laps.
Yeah, or lap 8.
Well, I think lap 8 would be a bit too soon, right?
We've only just finished lap 4.
Yes.
Sorry, you're right.
Shaib pitted on lap 3 though, so he's going to possibly go 3, 6, 9, and then 4 laps on mediums at the end. which also should be to his advantage because the other guys will do 5. So he's never going to have tyres older than 3 laps. We'll see if what happens. Now for a commercial break from our sponsors.
Mikhail maintaining the gap at the front to about 1.7 seconds.
Constant, yeah. Sunburn's dropped off half a second from leap, but he's got more than half a second's worth of fuel extra. This has turned into
and his tyres are also looking a lot better than leaps.
Serious Sam's only 8 seconds back, and he's also sitting with quite a bit of fuel.
The tyre wear looks quite bad though.
I'm going to throw money on GTSSA for this race. I don't have money, but I'll throw it anyway.
Interesting. You think that
Leader has gone into the pits, the top 2.
Top 3.
And Sunburn, top 3.
Yeah, so I think those guys are going to do lap 5, lap 10, and then a short stint. We'll see, maybe they come out on mediums now and surprise us, but that would be a bit of a disaster, I think. Just looking at the pace.
It will be interesting to see.
And have you noticed that GTSSA has jumped all of them?
Yes, I was looking at that. That's what I was about to say. It would be interesting to see his lap times
and
now.
Sam, but Sam hasn't pitted yet.
Yeah. Yes.
I can tell you guys that Mikhail has come out on softs again. Sunburnt has also come out on softs again. As has
is
Leap.
on mediums.
That's quite interesting there.
Carty's, when he pitted a lap ago, put mediums and we didn't pick it up. And he's also got a little bit over half a tank fuel still at this stage. So I don't know if that's all from saving.
You think Cartes is going to go for a one-stopper?
I don't think he can quite do it from here, but I think he's going to switch to softs at the end when all the other guys are on hards, on mediums, on the harder option. Yes.
Shoaib desperately needs to get past Serious Sam here because Serious Sam is holding him up and Mikhail is catching. And for Shoaib's strategy to work,
He needs to,
he needs to fly. Oh no.
What's happening?
Oh jeez.
Serious Sam touched the grass and on his way back he hit Shoaib into the wall.
Oh,
And Shoaib dropped behind the guys he had just jumped. Well,
that's really sad.
so
That is
the problem
very
with that
unfortunate.
is that probably cost him, well, he's 6 seconds behind Mikhail. It's cost him about 7.5, 8 seconds there. But he's got Leap right on his ass at the moment. Donkey, Cartes and Mikhail all got past. So before this we had Mikhail leading with Donkey and Leap. Cartes has managed to get to second somehow. Donkey's right behind him.
This is a
If
close
you go to
battle
the
here.
front on the stream there, I think Donkey's going to be coming past shortly because he's on the softs versus Cartes as mediums.
Yeah, he's just managed to
Cartes
get
will
the
be
pass
smart
done.
and yeah, I don't think Cartes would fight it. He'll try and slipstream and save even more fuel. He knows he's on the slow tyres, so exactly the opposite of what happened with Sam and Shoaib is he got out the way, didn't interfere and kept himself from losing time. I was saying, scrolling back, we've got Henny Bears at the back. He's pitting, not Stinky's 11th place, pitting with the lovely sounding Mazda. Ninja's in 10th. Serious Sam 9th now after his spin. GTP, GTI 8th. Dino in 7th. Pace 6, Leap 5th, GTRSA 4th, Carties 3rd, Donkey and Macau. Obviously reversing the order there. Seems we have a little bit of a train forming behind GTRSA. One thing Leap and KLM will want to do is get past GTRSA quickly, because now their tyres are quite a bit newer, 2 laps, so they'll get held up if they don't get past, and they're going to give Sunburn Donkey a bigger gap than he had. I mean,
That's right, yeah, you're right. The strategies are going to be quite interesting here.
And the trio of them is catching Carties.
I'm just looking at GTRSA's lap time, and he went from he did 2 minutes 40.6, 2 minutes 40.2, 2 minutes 49 with that contact.
Yeah, so that lost him 9 seconds basically.
Yeah. Well, he's still got Leap and Pace behind him. That shows how hard he's driving with these old tires.
Not very far though. Both of them are actually, the 3 of them are very close to each other now.
They're right, all 3. Leap just went a little bit wide there. I think currently, I think we're going to be in that same situation of Donkey in second and Leap in
Pace is going into
third.
the pits.
Yeah. See, Pace will be taking off the mediums and putting softs on.
No, you put on the mediums.
Does this mean he's probably going to the end now on this,
It looks
this
like
set of
yes.
mediums?
Yeah.
6 laps is a long time.
Sure. Yeah. He's got enough fuel for it, so.
Okay. So far, Carty's up in third. He's only pitted once. He's 9 seconds off the lead, but they definitely have to stop twice. Well, I think they're going to stop twice. Once in the next lap, and then. Oh no, sorry. I think they've done that.
I have a feeling Dino's gonna be stopping at the end of this lap. Look at his fuel there.
Yeah.
Sunburn just put up a 2:38.7. 1.3 seconds quicker than anyone else.
That's low fuel and fresh tires.
Absolutely.
And clean air. I'm surprised GTRSA is still ahead of Leap by a quarter of a second. He just hasn't had a chance. Dino's catching them up.
I'm pretty sure Shoaib will come in this lap. His fuel is looking very low.
Yeah. No, he stopped on lap 4, so he will be stopping lap 8, but it's close there with him and Leap.
He's gone wide. Leap's probably
It's an awesome battle between the two of them.
Oh, and
a little bit of contact.
Yeah. And did he just spin it again? No,
I
he
think
lost.
he did those worn tires.
Yeah, he didn't spin this time, but same places where he previously had contact and spun, he lost a second or two. We're about to see it. I think I'm a little bit ahead of you guys. Thanks between YouTube and the PlayStation Network. So here we're sitting with Dino only 15 seconds off the lead in 5th. Interestingly.
Yes.
Very good, smooth drive. He's on lap 3.
He definitely has to. He'll have to
stint.
make another fuel stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's on soft, so he has to put mediums on.
He's definitely going to have to put at the end of this lap. He's not going to make it another lap with this fuel.
Yeah. Shoaib's tires are pretty cooked after that incident.
Oh, he proves me
The
wrong
other
and
thing
he's
is
for another lap. Shoaib is into the pits.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a shame. I think that 8-9 seconds he lost probably was a bit disheartening. Macau sitting in front of Donkey with a 4.8 second lead. That's what battling gets you.
At the moment, the lone manufacturer in the top 4, manufacturer side of the log. is Cartes.
Sorry, Cartes, yeah. Well, it seems like the Nissan was a car to have because we've got the Porsche. Where's the Porsche? Porsche sitting in 9th place, Mazda in 11th, and isn't there one other? Where's the Sauber?
KLM Pace with a Sauber.
Pace, 6th place currently.
Kalen is currently 19.6 seconds off the lead, and all 5 guys ahead of him still need to stop again. So it just depends on how much fuel they'll need to put in.
Well, something happened to GTP, GTR there. I think he ran wide and just trying to get this car back on track. It was fishtailing all over. He's going to stay out the way of Shaib. Sam's coming through. So we've got Sam and Shaib on similar pieces of track again. I think Sam's going to have to pit soon because his tyres look a bit cooked. Okay, we know Mikhail definitely has to pit. It'll probably be on lap 10, my prediction.
Sunburn still has to pit because he has to fit the mediums.
He's also pitted on lap 5, so probably going for lap 10.
Cartes is the enigma at the moment because he hasn't pitted yet.
Yeah, sorry. No, Cartes pitted on lap 4.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he did.
From softs.
And yeah.
So he'll be on softs at the end.
He has to pit, so he'll probably come in this lap, put the softs back on, and he's only 14 seconds in 5 laps. 4 laps. I see Donkey's in.
There we go.
Cartes is in.
He's gonna push on the.
Leap is in.
Leap, Dino.
Cartes is fully up till the end.
Donkey has come out less than half a second ahead of pace.
Donkey on medium, pace on old softs.
Also medium.
Oh, sorry, Mikhail's still out on softs. So that fuel saving paid off a little bit.
Interestingly, Cartes has now come out less than a second behind Leap.
I was just looking at that now, yes.
Leap is now on medium, so where Cartes is on the soft. So you can almost guarantee that Cartes will go past Leap.
Yeah.
That's it. Which isn't going to do Leap any favours for the overall points.
Absolutely not. Pace has just gone past Donkey.
Who do we... Mikhail obviously starts to pit and put fuel. He's running very low. I'm actually wondering if he should make it to the pits, but on fumes. Donkey is 5 seconds behind pace. I don't know if he went off somewhere.
He must have made a mistake somewhere.
I think we just missed that incident, yeah.
Yeah, Leap is only 3 seconds behind Donkey now. I think Cartes has a good chance of jumping both of them. Unfortunately, his earlier karting race and the Mazda VGT race didn't go as well, so it's not going to help him too much in the overalls. Or it will help, but not get him that high. The thing with a long race like this, we see now there's chance for a few mistakes. Donkey's had one, GTSSA's had a moment.
Yeah. In goes the leader.
He was 19 seconds ahead of pace, so let's see.
Let's see where he comes out.
Just looking at pace, got 7 points from the first race, but 0 from the second. So if he got 24, that would take him to 31 points, which I don't think is enough to win, but might get him into the top 3.
Pace has come in again.
Yeah.
I think he's filling softs for the last.
Softs.
3 laps.
Yeah, he did 3 laps on. So he's fuel to the finish. Cartes is fuel to the finish, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
McCall's 11
pretty
seconds
sure
ahead
the
of
top-
Donkey.
The top 6 have now all fueled to the finish. This is going to be interesting because now Pace is also on softs and he will be flying.
So the leader is on mediums. Second place.
The top
Sunbird
3 is on mediums, and then 4 and 5 is on softs.
That's it.
I think McCall's too far ahead unless he needs to stop, but he's got enough fuel and his tyres are fine, so I don't see why he would.
No, I think Mikhail has got this one in the bag, barring a
I
mistake.
think Donkey losing that 6 seconds odd and with the unseen mistake, Leap lost some time behind Pace when he was on mediums, behind Cartes when he was on mediums. I think Cartes is 15 seconds off the lead. It's a big ask to do that in 4 laps.
Yeah.
3 laps, sorry. Where's our boy Dino? It's only 18 seconds off the lead, sitting right.
Dino is consistently looking for a top 6 here overall.
Yeah. He's running softs. He's got enough fuel to the end. A little bit less fuel than Pace, and 1 lap older tyres, but he's right there. I think if Cartes wants to make a move on Leap, he's going to have to do it sooner while those tyres are fresh. You don't want to sit behind the guy too long, there's a queue forming behind you.
Absolutely.
We've got, looking at the comments, Sean Breitenbach saying, let's go Callum Pace. Psycho Sheep Pace, Loop. AM Racing, let's go Dino. That was a little while ago. Yeah, McCall was on 12 points behind us in 4th place overall, so a win here would put him up to 36. We'd need Leap to be somewhere around 5th or I think 6th place, possibly. With a McCall win would get him challenging, and then obviously where Donkey finishes would also be important.
Yes.
As it sits now, Donkey 2nd, Leap 3rd. That would, I said earlier, tie them on points. I'll have to double check, but
I'll tell you what, there's 1.5 seconds between 3rd and 5th at the moment.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The chance if the soft runners get past Leap and Sunburnt, McCall might even end up taking this thing. He stayed out of trouble and is flying at the moment. When the other two made a mistake early on and he got the lead, I thought that might be temporary, but he ended up maintaining it and letting them fall off.
Absolutely.
Which is
from 3rd to
looking at
5th is quite close.
Looking at Mikhail's lap times, excluding the ones where he's pitted, 240, 241, 240, 239, 239, 240, 240. Very, very consistent.
Pace is all over the back of Cartes at the moment.
Correct. I see the lap that we missed, Donkey pitted and did a 53, but then the next lap was a 48. So 53 seems about right for fuel and tyres, but the 48 is when something went wrong.
Yes.
Otherwise he would have been that 3-4 seconds back off the lead. He is closing down on McCall, but definitely not going to make 6-7 seconds a lap to make it up.
Yeah.
No, I don't
lap
think
and
so.
a half left.
And Leap's defending has dropped him back from Sunburnt as well.
Yeah, Pace is all over Cartes, which has made him drop off the back of Leap. And Dino's sitting on the back of his...
Pace is going for the move over Cartes. He's gone in front.
Yeah. So that's why I was saying earlier that Cartes needed to use those softs for a move on Leap before...
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Pace. Now he's going to sit with Dino behind him. Dino's out driving outstanding. Sure, one or two guys made a mistake in front, but first week on his own wheel, he's had a week's use of Josh's wheel before. And the guy is sitting in 6th place, right on car teaser's butt, right behind pace. I think he's going to be a bit of a handful once he gets used to it.
That's it, yes.
And fortunately, the other newcomer, not Stinky, he's moved up to 8th from where he was earlier. But I'm looking at the tyres on this Mazda and the fuel, and he still needs to pit again, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think he might squeeze one last lap. He's defending MJ Ninja for 8th, and he's going to stay out, but his tyres are shot. He's running out of fuel. I don't know if he's driven a Group C car before tonight. I actually think a few of them haven't, and a few haven't driven this track, but
yes.
We all know, give him a Subaru Grade 3 car and he'd be running away at the front, possibly.
Well, this is all a very good learning experience for him, so...
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think our first two are settled here, 14 seconds and 4 seconds. Pace is on the back of Leap now, though, for 3rd.
Which I think is important for the overall results, Stephen.
Well, it'll prevent the tie.
Pace, Leap seems to be battling with the handling now. Side by side into the corner.
Pace going up the inside here, I think. Lining him up. That speed difference.
That Nissan is much quicker than the Saba in a straight line.
Sure.
But softs versus mediums.
Oh, Pace goes a bit wide.
Pace is going to... is he going for the outside?
Pace.
Oh, well, a little bit wide, but that's a great move by Pace.
Pace picked up a penalty for that.
Yeah.
Which he's already worked on a little bit. I don't think it'll come into play.
Dino's dropped off a little bit on Cartes. Cartes is back on the back of Leap. Coming into the final few seconds of this race. I'm just looking towards the front. McCall's coming up to the last corner, but I think the best thing is to stay where you are on this huge battle.
Okay. Dino and Cartes have gotten past. Leap has dropped down to 6th.
Dino has just jumped 2 positions into 4th place.
Yeah.
And then run wide. But wait. Oh, he's going to get dragged down the straight here. Sorry, I'm about 4 seconds ahead of you guys.
He lost a lot of time
close into the last corner.
Yeah. Oh, was it Cartes that hit the wall? Oh dear.
Leap hit Dino. Cartes into wall. Dino into 4th. Leap 5th.
Sunburned Donkey ends up taking the title.
Yeah, by my calculations, that should be Donkey first. With Leap coming 5th and McCall winning, he might even be challenging for 2nd there. Great
comeback. What a race
by
McCall.
Mr. Pace from the back of the grid. We forgot about that.
That's right, yeah. He started 12th, right?
Correct.
Guys, I think Stinky did run out of fuel because he ended up finishing 10th.
Yeah, I see his car's going very slowly even under the ghost. Henny Bears, let's watch Henny come over the line.
I still don't have any on my side.
Oh, you still don't have him?
No.
Well, he's coming
up
over
11 guys.
He's coming over the bridge now. Okay.
That was a well-run race by Mikhail.
Clean as a whistle. That ended way too quickly. I think we need another 2 races at least.
Obviously, we'll still do the final points tally, but if Donkey did end up winning the title, we finished 2nd in all 3 races.
Correct. Consistency. I'm I'm just doing the top 3 quickly. Where did Leap come? Leap was 5th.
Leap was first, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that means 40 points to Sunburnt Donkey, 36 points for Leap, 36 points for Macau, and Macau would actually get second because of finishing the last race higher.
Higher, correct. So that's unlucky for Leap. He wins 2 races of the 3 tonight, and ends up 3rd overall.
Correct.
That's unbelievable, guys.
I know there was one or two nudges and stuff earlier on, and if the guys do ask us to look at it, we will, but Donkey was nowhere
Involved,
other than our front. I don't know about McCall in the earlier races, but definitely nothing's taking these points, so I'm pretty sure our first and second are secure, even third. I don't think Leap might, that little mess at the end there with Dino and Cartes, but Cartes actually dropped behind GTRSA because of that, so I don't think we could really do much more, and it looked more like a racing incident, 3 abreast into a corner, last corner of a race. You got to go for it.
Nobody was going to give up there, especially with these guys. So yeah, but we will relook at that if needed. And
yeah, well done to Sunburn Donkey. I'm pretty sure Season 2 GTSA champion. And Dino, 4th place in this race. Great result.
Yeah. So to everyone listening, we will definitely get all the incidents sorted out and tally up the points, and everything will be confirmed tomorrow. Just remember, seeding will be on Thursday night. Oh, sorry, Thursday. We'll have lobbies open during the day as well as in the evening, and season 3 will start from next week, Thursday.
Looking forward to that. Thanks everyone for joining us on the View and on the chat. Sean Skitter telling us that Nations dominated. That is absolutely correct. There is no doubt about that. But I'm backing the manufacturer boys to come back in the following season.
Yeah,
definitely.
They should all just drive Hyundai, then there's no problems.
Okay, thanks everybody. Thanks to Verna and Stephen for the commentary. I really appreciate it. Really enjoyed listening to both of you guys.
Yeah.
And thank you, Stephen, for those Mariwaka quotes.
Anytime.
Awesome,
just for interest sake,
yes.
I haven't done all the points, but it looks like 4th place, 25 points, Dino.
Mm-hmm.
Very well done, Dino.
GTRSA, 24 points for 5th, and Pace 23 points for 6th, so 25, 24, 23. 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Wow. That is unbelievable. Yeah. So we'll get everything confirmed and we'll post it up tomorrow.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Cheers, everybody.
All right, guys. See you all soon.